Violence, drug abuse and bullying at schools are still a major concern for the Department of Education. Theft and vandalism in Gauteng schools has also cost the Department of Education more than 121 million rand in the past 7 months alone. The department says 262 cases of theft and vandalism were reported since the beginning of 2019. For more on this, I'm joined by Gauteng MEC for Education, Panyaza Lesufi. Mr. Lesufi, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure something would have prompted your department to undertake this exercise of putting a cost to theft and destruction of school infrastructure.
Well, it's with a heavy heart that our schools are becoming sitting ducks of criminals, especially when we're about to approach school holidays. And when we received this information, we felt that that's the information that we need to share with the public so that the public can assist us. There is no way that people can steal the future of their own children away. And there is no way that people can feel that each and every school should be an easy target for them to remove literally everything from your computers, telephone lines, things that we're utilizing to teach our children. Now we have to put extra butler doors, ensure that even the roofing have a different kind of roofing so that people must not come through the roofs. But if you do that, they just pull the entire wall off and get inside the school and take whatever that they want to take. The figures are staggering. If society can't really come on board and assist us to stop this kind of things, the future of their own children is doomed.
I mean, this is something that's happening throughout the country. I mean, by the way, I mean, if you visit any township in South Africa, you'll see these vandalized schools, or I mean, schools with no gates or collapsed fences and that sort of thing. Are there no norms and standards when it comes to security at public schools, like something that says, you know, there should be this level of fencing, gates should be manned for 24 hours, just minimum standards? Isn't there anything like that?
But mirror image our figures with the figures that are released by the Minister of Police or Commissioner of Police when they release crime statistics. You can see that indeed there is something urgent that needs to happen. We can talk about norms and standards. The reality is that the banks have strengthened their security outlook. Houses, individual households have strengthened their security outlooks. Who remains is churches and schools. And if I have an option of hiring a teacher and having somebody with technogiri outside the school, what would be my preference? My preference will be to hire a teacher. And that is why we are calling on law enforcement agencies to say, protect us. We are calling on law enforcement agencies to say, when we report the case, let it not be a statistical matter where you just record the case. Go out there, hunt those people that have broken into our schools. And I mean, there's one school here in Midrand. It has been broken into 2 times within 3 months. And every time they replace the equipment, they come and break in. And we don't have that capacity to have people with guns or to have like private sector and other institutions that don't have. We just have to rely on the community. Hence our call to say, community, assist us. This situation is getting out of control, especially within the 3 crucial vacation period. December period, when everyone is not there, that's where we have the highest rate of break-ins. Come the June holidays, that's when we have the second highest, and then the third highest is when we go for the September holidays. And now that we're about to go to the September holidays, we are pleading with communities. Even if you are watching a soccer match, don't take the chairs and leave that outside. And after the soccer match, you leave it there, and someone comes and takes it. That chair can assist your own child to get education. And we're pleading with society. It's not only society with only ourselves as the department, law enforcement agencies, and everyone that can assist us to say this situation is getting out of control.
I'm sure a lot of people are with you when you say that given a choice between hiring an extra teacher and the guy with the knobkiri at the gate, you will in all likelihood, go for the teacher. But then, slowly but surely, you are equipping these schools, right? Trying to create the best possible learning environment for these children. Like you did in Tsakane, for example, where you opened a state-of-the-art primary school. But as we are talking now, the tablets, the laptops, the computers, the plasma screens are all gone.
Yeah, it's true. It goes beyond that. There is a school in Soweto. The entire community have taken over the school. The entire school. People have bought houses inside the school premises. And that school is worth how much? It's worth almost 80 million. And people have taken over the school. Not a portion of the school. The entire school, people have put informal settlement inside the school to go to court, to get eviction orders, and to get lawyers. It costs us a lot of money. But for a community to decide that they're invading a school and taking over the school, it's really a serious problem. If that community don't see the importance of a school, no matter how empty that school is, because we're utilizing it for other things, then it indicates that we need intervention. And that is why we say, if we can have a partnership with society and have partnership with law enforcement agencies and have strict measures within the schooling environment, we're not going to win this battle. This battle is beyond us. And check the people that are coming to the schools. They are armed with machine guns and the cars that are utilizing and the caliber of the weapons that are utilizing. There is no way that somebody with a whistle and a knobkiri can stop them. And we have not released those statistics, we are verifying them. If we can also release the statistics of the security guards that have been shot dead in our schools, it's shocking. And these are people that continue to volunteer to protect those schools and ensure that those schools are not vandalized. But reality is, if we can't stand up as society and stop this madness, there's no way that we'll survive. And this will harm the quality of our education of our own children.
And I'm looking at the fact that the East Rand, for example, is a hot spot when it comes to this sort of thing, which probably suggests that communities that have the highest unemployment and poverty rates, I mean, schools that are in those areas are in fact a lot more vulnerable.
Well, you can say so, but it's all over. I mean, in Sentin, people are not unemployed, but go to our schools in Sentin. People are stealing literally everything, even from they're stealing even a heater. You go to schools that are around Albertine. We are hit. Actually, in one area in Tshwane, all our schools, 18 of our schools were hit hard, all of them. So we really believe that there is a syndicate operating. There is a syndicate that have identified schools, and we really need help from law enforcement agencies to say, assist us. We don't have the capacity as a department. We are dealing with chalk and chalkboards. There's no way that we'll know the caliber of the syndicates, how they operate and other things. But I must thank the law enforcement agencies. There is one school, for example, next to Hammanskraal, where they stole literally everything. And when we requested the minister, Peggy Cele, to come and assist us, he went there, he released a team only to find that the people that are stealing are staff members that are working in our school. As I'm speaking to you now, they've been arrested. So we need the law enforcement agencies to prioritize us. When they patrol, when they strategize in terms of their own plans, we say schools play a crucial role in society. Please incorporate us, include us, and ensure that we are also protected.
Of course, I mean, they also complain. The Minister of Police is on record saying they don't have enough people on the ground. They also don't have a whole lot of other resources. But something like this, one would imagine, should be a big talking or discussion point at MINMEC when you as provincial ministers meet with the national minister, and in turn when she meets with her cabinet colleagues. Are those conversations even taking place? They're
taking place, purely because we just feel that the planning from the police point of view and our investment from the education point of view, they need to correlate. They need to speak to each other so that we know when we invest, we can be protected. But reality is, these are crimes that are taking place within a community. So the first form of defense is community itself, because if community is stealing from its own investment, that community needs to bow their heads in shame and say, we're not doing good. That is why when there was that crime in Tsakane, we called the community and they told us who did this, and we managed to recover whatever that we have recovered.
But then in other instances, as you were just saying, I mean, you have these criminals with wielding like big guns. They'll like shoot up in the air and everybody will try and hide. So they may not even be able to see.
But not that only, Foyo. That's what I'm saying. That this is complicated. You know, some of the devices that were stolen, for example, in Tsakane, because they were tracked. We are now picking them up across all Africa there. Some are in Ethiopia, some are... So we need all law enforcement agencies to assist us so that we can really contain this situation. But at this rate, if we don't stop it, honestly, our children will be the victims of this kind of crimes.
And that's precisely the reason I was raising, the fact that these are conversations that should be taking place at MINMEC, but also at cabinet level, because it then means that we should be talking the involvement of, everybody across the board, your state law enforcement agencies, your intelligence, your police, home affairs, international relations, everybody.
I think the call that we're making for you is that prioritize us. We are under siege. We are suffocating, and this is affecting our budget big time, so rescue us. And the only way to be rescued is that society must be aware that we're going through these difficulties. And if society is aware, we really believe that that's a strong form of defense that we can get so that society can protect us.
Now, bullying and assault at schools also seems to be, on the rise. Only a few days ago, 2 matriculants were suspended after a grade 9 pupil was raped, allegedly, by fellow pupils.
Yeah, we're worried. I think the school didn't handle the matter well, and that's what makes us very angry, to be quite frank for you. There is a manual that we have shared with our schools that something of this nature, when it happens, these are the steps that you need to take. And all those steps were ignored. And that's the reason why we have to come at the last minute.
Willfully, or was someone just being incompetent?
I really believe that it brings embarrassment, it brings things that they feel that if society is aware about these things and about our school, it may harm the image and the name of the school. But we need to protect a child here. And that's why we've commissioned an investigation to check who didn't do what and intervene decisively. But I'm glad that the SGB is now disciplining the case, is taking disciplinary action against the boys. And I'm also excited that we've briefed law enforcement agencies and they're taking this case afresh. And we truly believe that if they can take the statement from the girl, we will be assisted and the matter will be appropriately attended.
Okay. Before I let you go, I have to ask you about this. Just your thoughts around, this story that has been growing bigger and bigger throughout the day of, that official of the National Department of Education who thought he was doing the right thing and pushing the boundary is something he felt needed to be done, posting these almost naked women, all in an effort, he's arguing, to try and get people interested in reading. Just your thoughts?
The intention, brilliant. Strategies, bad. And I'm happy that he withdrew, and I'm happy that the minister also distanced herself from the arrangement. But the need for our children to know that the importance of reading cannot be removed. But I don't think that the strategies that were utilized were appropriate strategies. And I think for that, let's forgive him because I've already apologized. You learn on your feet in some of these challenges that are faced within the education space. And I really feel that Elijah has learned from this, and we just have to give him support. But the need to convey that message that a country that does not read will be led by those that read. And it's very, very important that we make our children to fall in love with reading. But we don't do that by exposing their bodies and other related matters. So the idea, I don't think that was a brilliant idea.
So, thanks very much for coming through.
Thank you so much.